Phil was, methodical and so blinkered. Michael with all his flair and all the rest of it. Bristow with his arrogance and get back, stand at the back of the stage and put his hair back like that.
Adrian, make a case for yourself. I know you're very humble for this. You don't do things like this. Make a case for you being in this sport.
Of course I am.
It's crazy, to be honest. TikTok at the minute is overtaking my life.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Checkout. This is a new 4-part content series brought to you by AK Bets, where myself and the guests talk about all things Premier League and a few different storylines as well. With me for this episode, we have former Lakeside champ, Stephen Bunting.
Hello.
The legend that is Russ Bray.
Hello.
And multiple world champ, Adi Lewis.
Hello.
How are you doing, guys? You okay?
All good.
Brilliant. Looking forward to this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to talk about our dream Premier League lineup. So the players that you just must have in your lineup. If you were picking out from anyone, they can be legends, goats, maybe even anyone just a bit quirkier as well. I'll throw a couple to start with because I feel like you've got to have these guys, in my opinion. You've got Michael van Gerwen, the most successful player in Premier League history, and of course, the GOAT, Phil Taylor. Agree with those?
Yeah, of course. You couldn't have a legend Premier League without them two in it. I think as well, Eric Bristow, for what he did for the game, would be a fantastic player to be in it as well. And then I'll throw it over to you.
Yeah, thanks very much. No, I would definitely say you'd have to go MVG and Phil, that's for sure. Eric, yeah, I mean, he's the one that done everything in the 80s. He was the one that really put darts on the map, in that sense, because of his dominance, his arrogance, his brilliance, and every showmanship and everything that went with it. A fourth one, I'll tell you what, that's interesting, yeah.
Look, we've got someone who played in it 10 times on the end there.
I'll tell you what, in all honesty, if you're looking at excitement, and two-time world champion, of course, back to back, I must say. And I would stick Adrian in there for sure. Not because he's here either.
Yeah. Oh, you'd stick yourself in there, wouldn't you?
I wasn't nudging him or anything,
Yeah.
I'd go obviously with the same. You've got to have the free end. And the fourth one.
Haven't mentioned people like Barney, Gary Anderson, who's won it a couple of times.
I put Gary in there, yeah. Otherwise, he'll be texting me when he watches this. I know, still jammy git.
But you've been in some of the lineups that had these players.
Yeah. I do think you'd have to go with Gary. It's Gary, Gary or Barney.
So it feels like you've come to this conclusion of you've got to have Phil, you've got to have Eric, you've got to have Michael van Gerwen. It feels like that's non-negotiable. What makes them so, yes, great at darts, obviously, but they kind of have something else as well, don't they?
Yeah, I think just everything they did for the game, the showmanship, the brilliance on the board, they all dominated in their eras. I think without a doubt, them three names are top of the sport, aren't they?
Yeah. I agree. You've got three completely different characters there as well.
Yeah.
You've got Phil, who's methodical and so blinkered. Michael with all his flair and all the rest of it. Bristow with his arrogance and get back, stand at the back of the stage and put his hair back like that. And I mean, in the days they used to smoke as well, didn't they? So he'd have a cigarette in his hand, which and a drink on the table. So you've got three completely different characters there. All brilliant at the one thing that they've done, which was the darts, and all three dominated at one point as well, So, they're the three that have definitely got.
All of them massive fan bases as well.
Yes,
you've got to look at.
Huge.
Like I say, they're just phenomenal players.
And even now they've got a massive fan base. Even at the darts now, when we're standing there at the darts now, MVG obviously is still playing. Phil, there's only one Phil Taylor, and you even hear Eric Bristow's name mentioned. In the crowd,
that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Sadly, he passed, 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So, that's what makes them, I think, personally,
iconic.
The guys that have really got to be in there.
Fan bases and iconic in terms of Premier League. I often think about Rotterdam and Raymond van Barneveld, who's got the most appearances. 14 years he played in the Premier League. Is he in with a shout?
Of course, yeah. Well, he's 5 times world champion. You've got to be in with a shout, haven't you? But like we said, there's Adrian, there's Gary. That last spot, there's a lot of pressure on us pick 4, and
Very much so.
I think every one of those players we've mentioned are all in with a shout, to be fair.
AD, make a case for yourself. I know you're very humble for this. You don't do things like this. Make a case for you being in the sport.
Of course I am. Right, no. I think just for the 9 daughters of it, I think. Yeah. I think how many, 2 or 3, I think, in the Premier League. So, I think just on that fact. I wasn't the best.
Excitement value. It's quick, rhythmic. There's no messing about. Gets up there, bang, bang, walks away.
And and all the stuff that comes with me as well.
There's a little bit of that.
That's always the exciting bit and all, isn't it?
And what about Gary Anderson then?
Gary Anderson. I'll tell you what. To me, I think Gary, alongside AD, is probably one of the loveliest throws as well. He's another one that gets in, gets on with it. Does the job, there's always a shout for someone like Gary, and like you said with Barney for sure.
Excitable to watch.
Yeah,
power scorers.
But again, if you're talking about that type of thing, a guy that hasn't won it or has been in it is Wayne Mardle. As we do. I mean, he's just so full of bounce, Mr. Entertainment himself.
Yeah, flamboyant. Yeah,
and
brilliant.
Like we said earlier on, or said before, the Premier League's all about entertainment.
Correct.
It's all about having fun, enjoying, for the crowd to come and have a look.
It's a show, isn't it?
It's a show, exactly. And there's no bigger showman than Wayne Mardle, if you know what I mean. So, and again, when Wayne was on song, he was a brilliant dart player. Yeah.
We'll get on to the entertainers.
Okay.
But just in terms of these 4 players that we're kind of trying to get down to, you mentioned my friend Wayne. What about John Part as well? Because he was obviously
3 times
should
world
probably
champion.
be in the mix.
Yeah, he's a great player. He's probably one of the best counter I've ever seen in the game.
Geez, absolutely.
I think.
Better than me.
Yeah, well, I'm not mixing it up. I was going to say, this is a Russ. What's that, Russ? With the mic. John Ford. Yeah. You mean obviously, like I say, he was a great one, wasn't he?
He's not just successful at darts though. Even in his commentary and stuff, he's one of my favourite commentators.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I'd rather have him commentating for me on the legends.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you've mentioned that as one of your legendary commentators. If you had who would be your dream lineup of commentators? You've said John Part. So if you had to have someone in there with him.
Definitely John Part. Sid Waddell.
Yeah, kind of feels like it's got to be, doesn't it?
I think just a legendary. The World Championship trophy is named after the man. Yeah. It speaks volumes, and when I was growing up watching darts, he was the voice that you always used to listen to, and he was the sort of person that got me interested in darts, watching it as a kid growing up, and he'd have to be in a commentary box.
Feels like you got to have Sid.
Definitely Sid Waddell. No, it's right. Sid Waddell number 1, and I've got to be honest. I mean, I've not because he's works with you or anything like that, and I've known him since he was 9. But Wayne Mardle, he's just full of buzz and full of bounce, and he just makes it exciting, and that's what the game's all about. Sid done exactly. Sid with his comments and goodness knows what else. His eccentricities. Is that a word?
Yes.
What a good word that is, isn't it? I don't know where I dug that up from. Essex boy finding that. That's something special.
It's nice having them sort of people who are in the commentary box as well, who know about the sport.
Yes. Even more so, know the game.
Mardle and John Part have all been there, seen it, done it.
The correct have been there and done it.
What about you?
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you, but I used to like Gwenny, John Gwynn, Sid, and Dave Lanning.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm the old school type. But
Legends.
that's it. Yeah.
You mentioned entertainers, and we need them in the Premier League. I feel like you've become a bit of an entertainer. I said at the World, you're the people's champion. That's kind of what it feels like.
It's crazy, to be honest. TikTok at the minute is overtaking my life. I'm sort of every day now. There's a new TikTok coming out. Yeah, just dancing.
He does
just
singing, all sorts.
I'm singing egg on a few videos.
I've been with you singing. Don't worry about that. Halfway around Germany.
Yeah, no. It's nice to be able to show you a different side of personalities, and obviously people just watching on TV and just see you're just a darts player, but I think a lot of the players are more than that, and it's just nice to be able to show my personality to the fans, and I've gained so many fans as well by doing it.
People want to see you singing Have You Seen the Muffin Man? That's why.
Yeah. It's unbelievable, and just silly little videos like that. Yeah,
I can imagine.
Well, where did it all start from? Were you just kind of like, you just signed up to TikTok and you just like, I'll just give it a go?
Yeah, so me lad was just messing around with, he put a filter on, I had like big curly pink hair, I think. And it just went from there, and started getting views, and I thought, we'll just go from there, and it just snowballed, and yeah, it's crazy now. Everyone's demanding memos off me and different types of things. It's a different side, but no, I really enjoy doing it, and I'll keep doing it while it keeps everyone happy.
You've even had one today off the lads, haven't you? So,
The only bad thing about it is people actually know me more from being on TikTok now than being a
Then
darts
you're
player.
You kind of
Might need to
bring
rein
them
it in.
maybe this year, though, Steve. Maybe this year, mate.
I think that's a good thing because you get to see people's personalities, and that's why we love some of the real entertaining. It's why we talk about Wayne, because how he sort of entertained people on the stage. If you know him well, you know he's an entertainer. He's kind of like that day to day, isn't he? But I think about Peter Wright, obviously his whole kind of get up, the snake bite sort of persona, the fact he wears all these crazy colours, his hair, the little kind of dance across the stage.
Yeah, and this is what we want to see in the game. You want to see personalities, you want to see people like that. Believe it or not, one of the funniest guys on the circuit is Joe Cullen.
Yeah.
Joe Cullen, Joe Cullen, he's a prankster, he's a joker, he's I can't tell you what he says to me on stage.
Yeah, maybe keep
but
that to
seriously,
yourself.
I will do. I'll keep that one. I'll keep that one quiet. But he's just one of the funniest guys about, and he really is a fabulous character.
I think Wayne Mardell was the first one when he put the fancy dress and obviously everything.
Yeah.
And even now at exhibitions that he does, he hits a 180. He probably doesn't hit as many as he used to, but he hits a 180 and he'll run around the whole room, and it's just so good to watch, and that's why he's still so popular today.
I think, like you say, he's got a lot of charisma, hasn't he, Wayne? And he's fantastic.
He's got a lot of energy. A lot of energy. Anyone else spring to mind? Because these days, you mentioned Joe Cullen. Obviously, he's got the Oasis walk on. All of that kind of helps. Like Nathan, brilliant in that aspect as well, with Mr. Brightside. Dimitri, who likes to do
he
a
likes to
little
dance.
dance on the
Yeah, closely followed by Kirk Shepherd.
You mentioned Dimitri there. You know, Dimitri it's entertaining. He gets up there and he waits for the crowd, and then he gives it and he gives his what's his name? His little dance. Devon, that's it. Yeah. You know, so there's some good entertainers out there who can throw that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well, because there are some who, I suppose, entertain you more during the match. Someone like maybe a Scott Williams.
Yeah, he's with the bright yellow shoes that he used to wear. And stuff,
I think he got stopped wearing them.
Did he get stopped?
I think so.
They didn't look that comfortable either, though.
Didn't bite either.
But I think you're right. I think Wayne Mardell obviously brought all the fancy dress into it, and all the all that kind of swagger and everything else.
You see the likes of Ross Smith walking out now, throwing shirts out, showing a different side of his personality.
Damon Hatter's not
Damon
one
Hatter.
who's obviously
started
fireman's cricket and
he got a bit of stick, didn't he, in Blackpool
I'll
with
tell you
the
what, who was the original though? Bobby George.
Yes.
With all the bling and got that, Bobby George the original.
Bobby George.
Candelabra
and the candelabra walking out with the cape and everything. So, when you look at entertainers within the game, it's lovely when you see that. Obviously, they can play the game, but they can also please the crowd.
And that's what he's about as well. I think that's what he's about. I think he's about interaction with the crowd. Yeah. And obviously doing your job at the same time. Even
now, Bobby George, when he does his exhibition, he still comes out with the candelabra, the cape, and it takes him half an hour now to walk to the stage. So, by the time he's finished the walk on, the darts is finished. But he is a good lad.
So who are your must-haves then, in terms of entertainment-wise, in the Premier League lineup?
Peter Wright would be one.
Yeah. Wayne
Mardell would definitely be one.
If we're picking four.
I'd go with... I think if Demi was a bit faster thrower, I think I'd pick Demi, I'm putting myself in.
Wayne and Peter.
Big entertainer.
Wayne, Demi, Peter, I'll go with that.
I'd go Demi,
Demi. And Dev.
What,
Devon?
Dev, yeah. Devon Peterson, why not?
Another dancer.
Dancing Devon.
I don't, the way he prances around on the stage.
I need to start dancing, don't I?
Mate, you do in your TikToks, just bring it to the dance.
I really love Ricky Evans.
Oh, Ricky Evans as well.
Yeah.
And Christmas hat.
Maverick.
Damon Etta started doing wearing God knows whatever it is. He's going to wear on whatever walk.
So there's 6, So
I think we've covered them all, and some. We've covered them all and some. They're the guys that are pretty to watch.
Yeah, they're the entertainers.
So we've got our 4 entertainers. I don't think we settled the 4 goats, because we had Phil, we had Michael van Gerwen, and we had Eric Bristow, but you couldn't come to an agreement on the 4th.
I think Barney, just for the Rotterdam effect, 5 times world champion, everything he's done for the sport, coming up from a postman to being multiple world champions, an incredible story, and I just think, yeah, he just pips Adrian Gary Anderson, to be honest.
Boo.
But I'll tell you what, one difference you got there. Barney won 4 of his world championships in the BDO and 1 in the PDC. Both Gary and Adi done back-to-back in the PDC, and back-to-back is even harder to retain it. You can't take anything away from what Barney's done and what Barney's achieved and how good he is. I'm going to go joint.
You're just because he's sitting next to you, you just have to have him in there.
I do. Sorry, he's paying me later.
So Adi and Gary, yeah, okay. Yeah?
Yeah.
Agree with that?
Yeah, well, I've got no choice, have I?
We've suddenly got 5 in there now. No, you're 5.
I agree with that too.
Okay, so
Sorry, Barney.
Sorry, Barney.
I'll let you have 5, that's fine. So there we have it then. We have our dream lineup. Let us know what you think. Write your comments and make sure you're following all the AK Bets social accounts as well. And we'll see you for the next episode.